Hi everybody, welcome to another tango technique class at home. I hope you're all doing fine. So today is going to be about lápiz. Lápiz, 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 everything about lápiz. Lápiz is Spanish for pencil. And the idea is that your free leg becomes like a pencil and the big toe is the point of that pencil. And you use it to draw on the floor. Typically you draw circles. The circles can be from front to back or from back to front. In this class we will focus on front to back. Yeah? So when you say pencil, it doesn't refer so much to how your free leg is supposed to look like. Lápiz refers more to the actual drawing on the floor. So when you draw these circles, that's actually what you call lápiz, the drawing. Okay? So today we will start with a warm-up, then we will do a preparation exercise for changing weight during lápices, which will be important for later. And then we will do a set of exercises in which we will combine lápiz with pivot, counterclockwise and clockwise, and crosses back to find very interesting possibilities like we usually do, okay? And then we will repeat this set of exercises a second time, but this time using a double lápiz, which looks like this. It's a small lápiz followed by a big lápiz, which is a very beautiful adornment that the man can do, okay? So, let's start with the warm-up. Okay, warm-up. So today is going to be quite similar to the usual program, but a little bit different because we're going to combine exercises together, movements together, okay? So we start with feet together, legs together, and take a few seconds to just breathe deeply, relax, let the weight of your body come down to the floor, feel stable. And then for the first one, we will combine circles with the shoulders and circles with the arms, okay? So remember, when you do the circle with the shoulder, don't use the elbows, keep the arms relaxed. And when you do the circle with the arms, remember to keep your elbows straight and to open the chest, yeah? So one circle with shoulders and one circle with the arms, and then we will do 8, okay? So let's start. 1, shoulder and arm. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. 6 and 6. 7 and 7. 8 and 8. Okay, very good. For the next one, we will keep our legs closed like this, and then we will combine two exercises. The first one will be the one where we cross our fingers, we turn our palms to the floor, we stretch the elbows, and then we raise our hands above our head to stretch the torso. And from here, we will drop only one arm, like this, only one. The other stays up. And then from here, we go into this exercise, where we touch our knee and we stretch the side of the torso, yeah? And then we use the hand that is up to return back to the vertical and drop the arm. And then we will repeat from the beginning, raising the hands, and then here we will drop the other arm, yeah? And then we will stretch the other side of the torso. Then back to vertical, drop the arm, and start from the beginning, okay? So we will do it 4 times. Okay, let's start. So cross fingers, turn palms, stretch elbows, raise hands, stretch, then drop one arm, go down, stretch the side, go up, and down. This was 1. Okay. Raise hands, stretch, drop the other arm, and then go down, and up, drop the arm. This was 1 to the other side, so 2. Raise hands, stretch, drop one arm, go down, stretch, go up, and cross fingers, go up, stretch, drop the other arm, go down, stretch, go up and lower the arm, 2. Now this is the third. Cross fingers, raise hands, stretch, drop one arm, go to the side, stretch the side, go up, lower the arm, and 3 to the other side. Raise the hands, stretch, drop the other arm, go to the side, stretch the side, go up, lower the arm. And the last one, cross fingers, raise hands, stretch, drop one arm, then go to the side, stretch the side, go up, and lower the arm, and the last one to the other side. Raise the hands, stretch both arms, then drop the other arm, go down, stretch the side, go up and down. Okay? Now for the next one, we will open the legs a bit wider than the shoulders. We will bend the knees a little bit, and then we will do this rotation of the torso. We will just do 8 just by themselves, okay, like we do in the normal warm-up. So 8 times left and right, very relaxed. Try to reach the limit, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, okay? Remember not to move the hip, only the torso. Then we will stretch the legs, okay, the knees, and then we'll place our hands behind the head. Usually here we bend and we go down like this, on the center, between the legs, yeah? So we will do this, but then the next one, we will rotate the torso like this, without moving the hips. And then we will lower the torso over one leg, yeah? Like this. And then we will return up, we will rotate the torso to the other side, and then we will go down on the other leg, like this, yeah, this one. And then we will go up, and then again center, yeah, center up, one leg up, the other leg up. This is 1, and we will do 4, okay? So we start with the center. Hands behind the head, and let's start. 1 on the center. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 1 on one leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 1 on the other leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 2 on the center. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 2 on one leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 2 on the other leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 3 on the center. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 3 on one leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 3 on the other leg. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Up. 4 on the center. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And up. 4 on one leg. Go down. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And up. 4 on the other leg. Go down. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And up. Okay? Good. Now, the next one, we keep the legs like they are, open and straight, okay? And then we will do the rotation with our hips. This one we will do by itself, yeah? Because it's not worth to combine it with other things. So we will go back, and then we will rotate the hip. Remember to keep your legs straight at all times, to keep your heels on the floor at all times, and to keep your head in one position and only move the hip in a wide circle, okay? So we will do 8 on one direction and then 8 on the other direction. So we start back and then we go to the right or to this side. If you are doing it in a mirror, don't worry about left or right, just copy what I do, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and now change direction. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. Okay, very good. Now, for the last one, we will join our legs, so there is no space between them. And usually what we do is we bend our knees, we relax our knees, and we bounce 3 times. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Then we go up, and then we go on the toes, so that we can lift our heels. And we hold this position for 3 seconds. So what we're going to do here, when you are up, is we're going to shift our weight to one leg, and we're going to try to lift the other foot like this, and then join it, and then go down and bounce 3 times. Then we will go up again on our toes, we will shift our weight to the other foot, and we will try briefly to lift the other leg. Yeah? And then join, and then down. Yeah? So each time one leg. We will do it 4 times with each leg. Yeah? And this is, of course, obviously about balance. Yeah? About strengthening your legs and working on your core and improving your balance. So let's start. If you want, you can grab your hips. Yeah? And then we start with bouncing. 1, bounce, 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 stretch, go up, shift the weight to one foot, lift, and join. Bounce, 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 go up, shift to the other foot, lift, and join. 2, bounce, 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 go up, shift to one foot, lift the foot, join. Bounce, 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 go up, shift the weight to the other foot, lift, and down. 3, bounce, 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 go up, go to one foot, lift, and join. Bounce, 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 go up, lift, and join. And then again, bounce, 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 go up, lift one foot, stay there, join, and bounce, 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 go up, shift, lift, stay there, stay there, stay there, then join and down. Okay? Good. So this was the warm-up. Now we are ready to work, and let's go to the first exercise. Okay, the first exercise we're going to do is in order to improve the smoothness of our changes of weight. Yeah? So the exercise goes like this. You start with your weight on one leg, the free leg is behind you with the toes pointing down, and then you move your free leg slowly towards a cross back, yeah? And the moment that you reach the 0 position, you change the weight very fast so that you can continue the movement on the other leg until the end, until you are front, like this. And then from here you do the opposite. You close your leg, and then the moment you reach the 0 position, you make the change of weight very fast, very quickly, so that the movement continues unbroken on the other leg to this position, to the back position. Yeah? So now, in order to do this well, there is an idea that needs to be clear. Whenever you change weight in tango, the change of weight is instantaneous. There is no moment where your weight is on both feet, like this. Because the minute this happens, you kill the dance, you kill the flow. So you have to imagine that the way the weight works in tango is like a light switch. Yeah? When you have a light switch, it can be on, the light is on, or it can be off, and the light is off. But it doesn't make sense for the light switch to be in the middle. like the light is on and off at the same time. That doesn't make sense. So in tango, the weight is the same. Your weight is either on one foot or on the other foot, but never on both. So when you transfer the weight from one foot to the other, the weight change has to be like a switch, instantaneous. And this has the advantage that it allows you to take movements through the change of weight in a very fluid way. So I'm going to show you again. Yeah, you start like this, and then you move the leg, and then you try to make this change of weight as fast as you can, so that you have an unbroken movement. Okay? And one last thing, this is not about moving your legs very fast, because some people do like this. Bam! And then they finish the movement very quickly. No, the movement has to be slow. The movement of the leg has to be slow. And only the change of weight has to be very quick, so that you don't notice any break in the movement from one leg to the other. Okay? There are guys who I have seen that can do this extremely well. You don't see any cut in the movement. I am not that good, but at least I can describe what you should aim for, and I can show you the best I can. Okay? So we will do it with the metronome, 8 times to each side. As always, 58 BPM and 2 beats per bar. Okay? So let's do this side first. Put your weight on one leg, the free leg is behind you, toes pointing down. Remember your hip, your torso, tango embrace, and then let's start 8 times. And 1, 1, and 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Okay? Try really to work on this illusion that the movement doesn't stop from one leg to the other. Okay? Let's do the other side. So put your weight on the other leg, and then your free leg is behind, toes pointing down, and then let's do it 8 times to this side. And 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Okay? Good. So this was the first exercise. This will be important for our combinations with lápices, which we'll start right now. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, the first exercise with lápiz is going to be very simple. It goes like this. You start in 0 position, you change your weight to one leg, and then with the other leg you do 8 lápices from front to back, like this. When you finish the 8 lápices, you finish the last lápiz in a cross back, and then you change the weight and you continue with 8 lápices with the other leg. Yeah? When you finish the 8 lápices, we repeat the whole thing again. So you finish with a cross back, and then you do again 8 lápices with the first leg, you cross back, and then 8 lápices with the other leg. And that's it. Okay? Now, for the technique of the exercise, so the details are like this. First, I recommend you to relax your knees, especially the standing leg, and bend the knee a little bit, because this will give you more stability. Yeah? Then the lápiz with the free leg starts front. Yeah? Some people, especially when they dance fast, they take a shortcut and they start the lápiz very quickly to the side. Don't do that. Start the lápiz always to the front. Yeah? Projecting the leg and stretching the foot. Then when you open the leg to the side to start the lápiz, make sure that you are using only the hip, yeah? Only this joint. Don't move anything else. Don't move the torso to compensate what the leg is doing. Don't move the hip, don't move anything. Just rotate the head of the femur inside the hip socket. And then you trace a 180-degree arc on the floor until you finish on the back position like this. And now I'm going to show you from behind. When you are here on the back position, be careful with your foot, with the toes of your foot. Don't do this, yeah? Make sure that you have the big toe on the floor and that you let your heel fall a little bit to the inside, yeah? Then here, your leg should still be straight. Then you relax the knee, yeah? You relax the knee here so that you can pass the foot through zero position and then start with the next lápiz, yeah? And the next lápiz, of course, starts front, yeah? Like this. Then, when you change the weight in the cross, remember the exercise we did before. I'll show you from profile. So you are doing the last lápiz here, and now you're going to cross back. So make the change of weight as instantaneous as you can, so that you give the illusion of an unbroken movement from one lápiz to the other lápiz with the other leg, so that you don't break the flow, okay? That's the goal, okay? So we will do this together. And I will show you from the back so you can follow me, and we will do it with a metronome. Yeah? Now when you finish the 8th lápiz, the 8th lápiz is going to be a little bit faster so that we maintain the 1 of the metronome going forward with the foot. Yeah? Okay? So let's start. Just follow my speed. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, cross, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and, okay? So that's the exercise. Of course, if you want, you can do this as long as you want, changing weight every 8 lápices, okay? So let's go to the next exercise. Okay, the next exercise is going to be very similar, but we are going to change weight after each lápiz. So we do one lápiz, we cross back, and then we change weight, and we do the lápiz with the other leg, like this. So we will change weight continuously, yeah? Now, for the technique, it's the same, yeah? Try, especially now, to make the change of weight smoothly, so that the movement continues from one leg to the next. And here what happens sometimes is that we do a little jump, boom, like this, yeah? Boom. You should avoid that, yeah? Because any movement like this that you do, it's not only that it looks bad, it's that your partner will feel it. You will feel this vibration there, and it will distract her, okay? So, or him. So when you do the change, just make sure that you don't move anything on the embrace, yeah, on the torso, yeah, that is completely smooth and you keep it on your feet, okay? So let's do it 16 times with each leg, okay? With the metronome. Okay, so get ready, 0 position. Another lápices will be a little bit faster because we need to change weight after each one, yeah? Okay, so get ready, we start with right leg. And 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and 8 more. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Okay? Good. When you do the cross back, try to really close it in 0 position, because otherwise in each cross you will be going back. So try to stay during the whole exercise in one place, okay? So now on the next exercises we are going to introduce pivots, okay? Let's go for it. Okay, in this exercise we will combine lápiz with pivot of the standing leg, yeah? And the structure of the exercise is like this. You will do one lápiz, and after the lápiz is finished, you will do a 90 degrees pivot following the direction of the lápiz. So if you start with the right leg, for example, the lápiz is to the right, then at the end of the lápiz, the pivot will be 90 degrees also to the right, okay? Always following the direction of the lápiz, yeah? And we will do 8 lápices, yeah? So 1 pivot, 2 pivot, and so on. And on the 8th lápiz, yeah, you won't pass the foot anymore through 0 position, you will cross it behind. And then you will change the weight, you will put the other leg forward, and then you will continue doing 8 more lápices with the other leg. And of course, because now it's the left leg, it's the other leg, the pivot will be 90 degrees to the left, yeah? So the pivot now follows the direction of the new lápiz, okay? Now, how does this work with the time, with the beats? So it will be like this. The lápiz will always take 4 beats, yeah? So 1, 2, 1, 2. On the first one, the foot is front. You point the foot forward. On the 2, the lápiz is in progress, the leg is more or less on your side, okay? On the 3, you finish the lápiz, the leg is behind, and the toes are pointed down, okay? And on the 4, you pass the foot through 0, yeah? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah? 4 beats, 1, 2, 1, 2, front, side, back, 0, front, side, back, 0. Now, where do we put the pivot in time? Well, it's like this. On the first 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, you don't do anything, yeah? On the 4, when the foot, the free foot is on 0, then you turn the torso 90 degrees towards the direction of the free leg, yeah? Away from the standing leg. So, 4, and then when you are here, between the 4 and the next one on the and, that's when you pivot, and then you start on the next one, the new pivot, yeah, the new lápiz. So it's like, slowly, it's like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Front, side, back, torsion, 0 position, pivot, front, side. Okay? So the pivot happens at the end, between the 4 and the 1 of the next lápiz. Okay? Now, a few tips about the technique, how to do this correctly. So, the first thing, when you are doing the lápiz, bend the standing leg quite a lot. Yeah? Don't be afraid to bend the knee and go down with your torso, with your hip. Yeah? So that you feel closer to the floor. And this will help your balance, yeah? You're closer to the floor and you have a very stable basis, yeah? So the standing leg is bent. The second thing that I recommend, when you put your arms in embrace, thumb embrace, like this or like this for the woman, try to hold your arms low, yeah? Because if you do the exercise with the arms too high, like this, you will feel a bit top heavy, yeah? Sometimes when we are doing technique exercises and we're very concentrated, we tend to stress a little bit, and one effect of this is that the arms start going up. So try to fight that tendency and hold your arms low, close to your center, yeah? Below the chest, because this position will also contribute to the feeling of being low, close to the floor, yeah? And this will help your balance, yeah? Like this. And the third tip, and very important one, because now we are using a very slow tempo, yeah? Usually when you use these lápices in the milonga, or when you go dancing, usually you will do it faster. But now that we are doing it so slow, try not to mix the movements, yeah? Try that your movements don't overlap. For example, on the first 3 beats, 1, 2, 1, move only the leg, nothing else. Until the leg is back, is behind, don't move anything. Don't worry about pivots, don't worry about torsion. When the foot is on 0 position, then you move the torso 90 degrees to the leg, to the direction of the standing leg. Yeah? And then, when the torso is completely turned and not before, then you turn the hip. Yeah? Try not to overlap the torsion of the upper body with the hip, because this will have a negative impact on your balance. Try to really separate the movements. Only the leg, only the torso, only the hip, yeah? And the pivot. Okay? So, as I said before, we do 8 pivots to one side, yeah? I will start from the back, so you can follow me, our sides are the same, but then because I'm using pivots, you will see the exercise from every direction, yeah? Then after the 8th pivot, we will close back in a back cross, so we can change the leg, and then we will do 8 pivots on the other direction. Then we will cross back again, and we will do 8 more with the first leg, cross back 8 more with the second leg. Okay? And I will start with the right. Good. So, let's do it with the metronome. Yeah? Slowly. My explanation was long, so this switched off. Okay. So, 58 BPM as always. And each lápiz is 4 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pivot. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pivot. Okay? So, let's do it together. Feet in 0 position. Remember the tips about the posture. Arms relaxed and low. Bend your standing leg. We start with the right and the pivot goes to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. Great, okay, so let's go to the next exercise. Okay, this exercise will be very similar to the one we just did. The difference will be that after you do the lápiz, the pivot will go away from the free leg. So, for example, if you start the exercise with the right leg and your lápiz, of course, goes to the right, at the end of the lápiz, the pivot will go to the left, yeah? Away from the free leg, yeah? In the opposite direction. Lápiz to one side, pivot to the other side, okay? Now, the time with the beat is exactly the same. On the one, you start the lápiz, you point your foot forward. On the two, your free leg is on the side, yeah? On the three, the free leg is behind, with the toes pointed down. And then on the four, the foot passes through zero position, and at the same time, the torso turns away from the free leg, yeah? Away from the free leg. And then between the four and the next one, on the and, that's when you pivot. 4 and 1, yeah? So if I do it very slowly, counting the beats, it would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, yeah? Okay? Now, the technical tips are the same, yeah? Bend your standing knee, lower the arms, all of this is for balance, and I cannot stress enough the importance to separate your movements, yeah? To not overlap them. So, when you do the lápiz, you only move the leg. When you pass through zero, you only turn the torso, and when the torso is completely turned, then you move the hip. You don't mix the movements, and the reason to do it like this is not only that you will focus on doing the exercise clean, but it also allows you, now that we are using a slow tempo, it allows you to focus on one technical problem at a time, yeah? So when you start the exercise, you only have to worry about the leg, nothing else, only the leg, yeah? Then when you reach this point, you only have to worry about the torso, and nothing else, not even the pivot, yeah? And then, when you have dealt with your torso, now you only have to worry about pressing the floor down with your standing leg and twisting the hip for the pivot, yeah? So it's one problem at a time. You deal with your leg, then you deal with your torso, and then you deal with your hip, yeah? One thing at a time. Because then this will build a habit if you practice consistently, and when you do it faster, then you will have this cleanness because you have solved one technical problem at a time. Okay? And one last tip that I have is try that your free leg is always moving, there is not one moment where the leg is still, the free leg is still. So that means that you have to adjust the speed of your leg, yeah? So that there is no moment where you have to wait. For example, if you do the lápiz too fast, then you will have to wait with the leg back until the next beat comes, and then you can close and do the pivot, yeah? Or if you do the lápiz and you close your foot too early, then you have to wait until you pivot and the leg can continue moving. So try to avoid that, try to avoid these stops. That's why I move the leg very slowly, 1, 2, especially after your leg is back here. When you pass through 0 and you do the pivot, try that the leg is always moving, yeah? Always moving. 3, 4, 1, yeah? Work on this because then your free leg will look like it's drawing on the floor, and that's a very important quality in tango. Dancing tango means, among other things, drawing on the floor with your free leg, yeah? So when you draw, you don't want to stop, yeah? You want to keep the drawing always in movement, okay? So, let's do it together. 8 times, then cross back, like we did before, then 8 times with the other leg, another cross back, and then 8 times with the first leg, cross back 8 times with the other leg. Okay, so let's do it together. 0 position, go down, relax the arms, and then we start with the right leg, the lápiz is to the right and the pivot will be to the left. Okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot cross back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot cross back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Great. Let's go to the next exercise. Okay, in this exercise we are going to do lápices with both legs. Yeah? Lápiz with one leg, then we will cross behind, we will switch the legs, and then we will do the lápiz with the other leg. Yeah? So one lápiz with each leg and cross back to switch between legs. Yeah? That's the idea of the exercise. Of course we will combine this with pivots, and it will work like this. Look, when you, for example, start with right leg, you do the first lápiz to the right, the first pivot goes following the direction of the lápiz. So your lápiz was to the right, the pivot is to the right as well. But then when you switch legs and you do the second lápiz, the pivot, the second pivot will go against the lápiz, so away from the free leg, like this. Yeah? And then you switch legs, and then again, first lápiz, you turn in the direction of the lápiz. Second lápiz, you pivot against the direction of the lápiz. Yeah? So the effect is that you are always turning to the same side. Yeah? To the right, to the right, to the right. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that the two lápices with each leg won't have the same speed. So when you do the first lápiz, it will be a slow lápiz. It will take 4 beats like we have been doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? And then when you switch the leg for the second lápiz will be half the time, so 2 beats only. 1, 2. Yeah? So when you start with the first leg, it's 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you do the second lápiz, it's only 1, 2. Okay? And then you cross back. That's the second thing. And this change of speed will give the exercise a nice feeling of dynamic, because you are switching between a slow movement and then a fast movement. Yeah? So with the beat, it works like this. You start on the 1 with the first leg. Yeah? And this lápiz takes 4 beats. So on the 1 you are front, on the 2 you are side, on the 3 you are back, on the 4 you turn the torso to do the pivot in the direction of the free leg. Yeah? And then on the and you pivot and you cross back. Then on the 1 you point the foot front of the second leg. And on the 2 you are already back and turning the torso. So it's faster. Yeah? 1, 2. And on the and, between the 2 and the 1, then you pivot and you change the leg. Yeah? So it will be like this, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay? That's the idea. Then the last thing, sorry, the explanation is long, but the exercise is a bit complex. We will do this 8 times, yeah, to one side. And then we will use a transition to change the direction of the exercise and do it to the other side. And the transition is like this. Imagine that you are doing the last lápiz with the right leg to the right, yeah? And it's the slow one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you change the leg. And now you do the last fast lápiz with the left. 1, 2. So here you don't cross back anymore. You pass the foot through 0, yeah? Because then you can use the same leg to start the next slow lápiz to the other side, to the left, yeah? So the last 8 and the transition looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And then you start turning always to the left. Yeah, 8 times to the left. So we will do it 8 times to the right, then transition 8 times to the left, and then again we'll repeat the whole thing. Transition 8 times to the right, transition 8 times to the left. Okay? Good. So let's do it together with the metronome. And remember all the technical tips, you know, bend the legs, lower the arms, straight posture, yeah, and separate the movements, yeah, do one movement at a time. Okay, 0 position, bend the legs, relax the arms, and we start with the right leg and the lápiz goes to the right. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. 8, transition, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, transition, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, transition, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Okay? This was wrong, huh? Okay, great. Let's go to the next exercise. Okay, in this exercise we'll do the opposite of what we did on the previous one in terms of the direction of the pivots. So, for example, if you start the exercise with your right leg and the first lápiz goes to the right, the first pivot is going to go to the left. So, away from the free leg, away from the lápiz. Yeah? And then, on the second lápiz that you do with the left, the pivot will be also to the left. So you will follow the direction of the lápiz. Yeah? So it's the opposite of before. Lápiz with right, pivot away from the free leg. Change leg. Lápiz with left, pivot towards the lápiz and change leg. Yeah? We will keep the relative speeds of the lápices that we used in the previous exercise. So the first lápiz is always going to be slow, just like before. Slow lápiz in 4 beats, yeah? Then pivot, change weight, and then fast lápiz in 2 beats, and then change weight, yeah? So the exercise feels different, although it's very similar. The feeling in the body is different because before the slow lápiz was the one that had the pivot going in the same direction, yeah? And the fast lápiz was the one in which we go against the lápiz, yeah? But now the slow lápiz is the one that has the pivot going against the lápiz. So it gives us a lot of time for this counter torsion. And then the fast lápiz is the one that has the pivot going in the same direction, yeah? So the feeling is a bit different, okay? The technique is the same, and the transition also is the same. So when you do the 8th lápiz, the last one, like this, yeah? For example, you are doing the slow one, and then you pivot away from it. When you do the fast lápiz, at the end, You don't cross back, you pass through 0. And then you can use the same leg to do the slow lápiz on the other leg. And then you pivot against it. And then you're going to do the whole thing to the other direction. Okay? I hope you can follow the explanation. In any case, I'll do it now with you 8 times to one direction. Then we will use the transition 8 times to the other direction. And then we'll repeat again the whole thing. 8 times first direction, transition, 8 times second direction. Okay? So, let's do it together with a metronome. Okay. So, get ready in 0 position, bend the knees so you have a good basis, relax the arms, hold your arms close to your center, and we start with the right leg. The first lápiz goes to the right, obviously, and then the pivot will go against, to the left. Okay? Let's do it together. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Transition 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Transition 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Transition 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and. Okay? Great. So don't forget the technical tips about separating the movements. And another tip that I would like to give you is that because when the exercise gets complicated like this with lots of structure and changes of direction to remember, the technique can suffer. So my tip is to keep balance, yeah, and to avoid losing it. when you are finishing a lápiz, yeah, the slow or the fast one, doesn't matter, and you are crossing back, focus all your attention after the pivot into the placement of the free foot that is going to become the standing foot. You want to step with the foot under your head, and the foot is going to be pointed in the new direction, 90 degrees from the old one. Yeah? So let's say you are finishing this lápiz, 1, 2, bam! Focus on this placement, because this will give you the security to start the new movement. Yeah? Now you do the next lápiz. When the leg is behind, you turn 90 degrees. Now, focus on the placement of this foot. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Yeah? Place it straight, looking in the direction of the new step. Yeah? Focus on that. And that will also help you to maintain balance when you are switching legs, which is a delicate movement. Okay? So let's go to the next exercise. Okay, in this exercise we're going to use this little circle with the foot that I told you about in the beginning of the video. So how does this work? Well, this is a little circle that you do with the foot in front of you. Yeah, it's very small. And the way to do it right, technically, is like this. You need to combine two small movements, with the knee and with the hip. I'll show you from the side because it's easier to see. The first movement that you have to use is a very small movement with the knee. Yeah? Front and back, like this. Front and back. So you have to relax the leg, yeah? Make sure it's relaxed, and then just move the knee like this. It's very tiny, okay? The second movement, I show you from the front, is from the hip, and it's like this. It moves the leg sideways, left and right, yeah? Like this. So when you combine the movement of the knee and the movement of the hip, you have the circle, yeah? The circle is the result of a movement front and back with the knee and a movement left and right with the hip, yeah? If you prefer, you can just imagine that you want to draw a circle with the foot on the floor. That's easier, yeah? But mechanically with the leg, that's how it works, if you want to know, okay? So how do we use this little movement? Well, usually you do it only once, yeah? You do it only once and then you connect it with a lápiz, yeah? You do little circle to the outside, yeah? Usually it's always to the outside. It's very rare that somebody does the circle to the inside, yeah? Usually it's to the outside. Outside and then connect it with the lápiz. And the way you do that is that after the circle, you stretch the knee and you lock it, yeah? And then you do the lápiz, which is only from the hip, yeah? Only from the hip without the knee. So you relax the knee and then you move the leg from the hip, yeah? Time-wise, with the beat, it works like this. We still want to start the big lápiz from the 1. That means that the circle has to be before the 1, on the and 1. So we do and 1, yeah? And the lápiz will be slow, so 4 beats. 1 on the front, 2 on the side, 3 on the back, and 4 on 0 position, passing through 0 position without stopping, yeah? And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and so on, yeah? And one last technical tip about this is that because the circle is small and fast, and the lápiz afterwards is big and slower, this gives you a great opportunity to practice your dynamic, yeah? Because you are changing from one movement that is the opposite of the other. Quick and small, big and slow, okay? So that means don't get too excited with the first circle, yeah? Because sometimes in the stress of the movement, people do the circle too big, yeah? And then it looks like you're actually trying to do 2 lápices. It looks like this, yeah? Big circle and then big lápiz. Looks like 2 lápices that are very stressed. So try to find the dynamic, yeah? Try to exaggerate the difference between the 2 movements. And the first circle, you do it very tiny and very fast, yeah? Boom, from the knee, boom, and then the big lápiz, you do it slowly and giving it time, yeah? And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, quick, slow, yeah? So we will do 8 times this with one leg, no pivots, because we want to concentrate on the little circle, yeah? So always in one direction. I will do it from the back, so you can follow my left and my right, but I wanted to show you from the front, because from the back you won't be able to see this circle so well, yeah? And then after the 8th lápiz, yeah, on the 4, 3, 4, we cross back, yeah? 4 and 1, yeah? So after the cross on the 4, we will do the little circle right away. 4 and 1, 2, 3, yeah? So be careful with that transition, okay? So let's do it together, 8 times with one leg, cross back, 8 times with the other leg, cross back, and then repeat the whole thing, 8 times, cross, 8 times, okay? So let's do it together with the metronome. .58 BPM. Okay, let's do it together. 0 position. We start with the right leg, okay? And lápiz, of course, goes to the right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Great. Yeah? Try to really relax the leg, and when you do the little circle in front of you, try to use the upper leg as little as possible. Try that the movement comes mostly, I mean, the whole leg will move, but the idea is that you are drawing from as low as possible, from the knee with the lower leg. Yeah? That's the idea. Okay. So now we go to the last exercise. Okay, in this last exercise we will do what we did in the previous one, but we will combine it with pivots, because pivots always make everything more interesting, yeah? So it will be like this. You start with the right leg, and on the and before the 1, you do the little circle in front of you. And 1, 2, and then you do the lápiz, which is a slow one, yeah? So 4 beats. On the 1 you're in front, on the 2 you're on the side, on the 3 you are behind, yeah? Then on the 4, when the free foot is passing through 0, that's where you turn the torso to the right, so in the direction of the lápiz, towards your free leg, yeah? And then on the and, after the 4, between the 4 and the next one, that's when you pivot and do a little circle again. And 1. Yeah? So the last part of the exercise is like this, in slow motion. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1. Yeah? So right after the pivot, you do the little circle as a continuation of the pivot. Yeah? Pivot and 1. Yeah? This adornment, this little lápiz, actually comes very natural after a pivot because it follows the same direction of the pivot. Okay? Good. So as before, we will do it 8 times to one side, yeah? And then after the 8th pivot, we will cross back. So the last pivot will look like this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Yeah? So after the cross, right after the cross, you do the little circle. And then on the 1, you do the lápiz with the other leg. And then you do the whole thing to the other side 8 times. Then we cross back again. And then we do it 8 more times with the first leg. And then cross back 8 more times with the left leg. Okay? So let's do it together with the metronome. And now I'll start from behind, so you can do it with me with the same sides. But because we are using a pivot, you will be able to see the exercise from every side. Okay? So let's do it. Okay, so 0 position, prepare. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Great. So that was the last exercise, and although this class is mainly for the man, this material is very useful for the repertoire of the man, women can also benefit from these exercises with lápices and changes of weight. How? Well, for example, when the man leads you a calicitra, yeah? So let's say you are maybe finishing an ocho back, and then you are on one foot, and the man lifts you, and then he starts walking around you, yeah, in a circle, and you turn with him. So you can do lots of lápices and even change of weight, yeah. Meanwhile, he's walking around you. So lápices and changes of leg with the lápiz is a great adornment for the woman during a calicita. So these exercises will also help you, okay? So thank you very much for watching, and practice, 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 and I will see you on the next video.